How does the millionaire mind work? What does it really take to be the best in your field? Is there a secret to success in life?
I aim for stuff so big that the dream is bigger than the fear.
If you help other people get what they want, you will get what you want.
The easiest thing I've ever done was to earn $1 million. The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe it could happen to me.
If you want to have more, you have to become more. Success is not a doing process, it's a becoming process.
You start changing your mind. You start changing how you think. You start picking up new ideas and information. And I'm telling you, if you'll do that, your whole life will change. Don't do this any longer. Wish for a better wind. The key is to wish for the wisdom to set a better sail. Utilize whatever wind that blows to take you wherever you want to go. That is the philosophy I picked up at age 25, and it revolutionized my whole life.
This is Success Profiles, the interview show that features world-changing entrepreneurs, high achievers, experts, and more. Success Profiles was created and produced to inspire and empower you to greatness. If you want to be the best, learn from the best. Now, here's your host, Daniel Fazina.
Welcome to Success Profiles. I am your host, Daniel Fazina. So excited to be with you today, friend. I am honored to be joined by a world champion powerlifter, not once, but twice. 2007 and 2012, Mr. Jonathan Bernor was ranked number 1 in the world in his weight class. Check out these stats. He's got a 750-pound deadlift, an 800-pound bench press, and a 1,110-pound squat. It's my pleasure to introduce my friend, Mr. Jonathan Bernor. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Oh, it's a pleasure and an honor to speak with you and to have you on the debut episode of Success Profiles. And one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is because you're such a larger-than-life character in so many ways. And, of course, with being a powerlifting champion. John, tell us, what does it take to become a champion? What kind of discipline do you have to reach number 1 in the world?
Oh, I think it begins, the baseline has to begin with determination, and even a determination that defies people around you. And what I mean is, I remember as a young kid being 19, 20 years old, and I started powerlifting, started competing, and even the people who were very supportive in other endeavors and loved me, they told me I was wasting my time, that I should just give it up. And there was even a time where I went to, at the time, was one of the most well-known powerlifting gyms in the world, and the coach there told me I didn't really have what it took to become a champ.
Wow, you sure proved him wrong.
Yeah, yes. So I think the beginning starts with you have a focus. It's almost a purposeful insanity. Where people are gonna just say, well, this doesn't seem like reality. This just kind of seems to defy reason, and you are so bent in being pushed forward that you're not really stopping to let what they're saying resonate with you. I mean, we all need advice. We all need counsel. But there are many times where people mean well, and they can actually crush or dampen or kind of deter someone's plans, even in really good plans and really good. That's what happened in my life. I just kept going. I wanted it. I was going to pursue it.
All right. Now, that's great advice. So don't let anyone steer you away from your goal. Now, from the beginning, did you have a goal to be number 1, to be a champion, or did you just want to just get in there and compete, or what was your mindset going into it?
I'm an all or nothing guy, Dan. I've always been. As a young kid, I used to read through the magazines and see the best guys in the world, and I really never wanted to be second best. I wanted to be the best from the beginning, and that's just. I remember as a young kid, even 19, 20 years old, plotting out like a 15-year plan. That if I was in my 30s, I hit these numbers, I'd be one of the best. I mean, I had a long-term plan, short-term plans, but I was determined. I wanted to be from the beginning one of the best in the world.
That is amazing, and you have achieved that. Again, 2007 and 2012, you were ranked number 1 in the world. Even right now, even though you've stopped competing, you're still number 3 all-time for your weight class. Again, a 1,110-pound squat. 800-pound bench press and 750-pound deadlift. That is insane. I'm so proud of you for what you've done, and just having achieved that. Jonathan, I want to ask you, what is your definition of success? What does it mean to you to be successful?
I just think being successful comes down to, when you put your head down on the pillow at nighttime, are you content with what you put out for the day, or what you put out in regards to your goals? And that's really what it comes down to. We look at ourselves in the mirror, and when we go to bed, even with you're next to your spouse, you're going to bed in your head alone. And I think, I'm 41, I want to compete again, and still try to push towards the number one ranking. And the reason I can't put it down is for the simple fact that I still feel driven. I still feel like I can succeed, and I would be really dissatisfied if I walked away. I would, even though I've had a successful career, I still feel there's life there. And in order for me to put my head down at night and know, I've taken my God-given ability and pushed it to the max, I have to really push it to the max.
And you mentioned, it being a God-given ability. Before, when we had spoken, you talked about an inspiration of yours being Eric Liddell from Chariots of Fire. Talk to us about how you related to him.
As a very young guy, just getting, it was before, actually, probably a couple of years before I won the national championships. I had been reading about him, and it was this one quote that really just stuck me, where he said, I believe God has made me for a purpose, but I also believe he's made me fast, physically fast, and when I run, I feel his pleasure. And that it stuck with me, because when I would be in the gym training, it was almost worship-like to God, Jesus, that I was gifted and designed. Biomechanically, I have short femurs. I have moderately long arms for the deadlift, short femurs for the squat. I'm put together well.
Yes, and for anyone who hasn't seen you have to go to the website and check him out. He's built like a tank. You can't appreciate it on radio, but he is solid.
So it's just that resonated with me, really, because so many people have so many giftings, and they're just really they're remarkable in certain areas, and either it doesn't come out, or the people around them don't help it flourish and come out. But that quote stuck with me, because I felt, man, God made me strong, and I wanted to use it just for to glorify him.
That is amazing. So it's important to identify your gifts, your strengths, and then work on them and develop them. Talk to us about the discipline of the training. What did you have to go through? What was your daily routine like to get yourself into the shape to become a world champion?
I was a lot of time in the gym, a lot of time away. At the time I was younger, I had no kids. I spent 25 hours a week in the gym, 20 hours a week in the gym. We had a big team of guys, and you squat 1,100 pounds. You need multiple spotters. God forbid something goes wrong and your knee buckles, and that's 1,100 pounds coming down on you.
Wow!
So it was a real big team effort. So it took a lot. It took a lot of time. Diet, focus. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning for a protein shake. It was just a continuous, every aspect, the diet aspect. And people use visualization. I never used any of that to try to visualize. I just felt drive. I just felt push, and that for me, that was pretty much diet, train hard, and be hungry. Not just for food, but for success.
That is awesome. We got about a minute left, and if you could, give a piece of advice to someone who's listening who maybe has a goal that they want to achieve, what would you say would be your number one piece of advice that would enable them to reach that goal?
I would say don't sacrifice great on the altar of good. What I mean is, everyone has multiple things they can do well, and that's great in a lot of ways. But usually the guys who become great in one way are the guys who've honed in on one thing they're exceptional at, and they put everything they are into that, and then become the best of all time, or they become a top-tier athlete, or they become a super successful businessman. But they didn't waste their time on things they were good at. They found what they were really, really great at, and then they put everything into that. I just think that's what happens. I think people want to juggle, and sometimes that can hinder you from really succeeding in what your most gifted area is.
That is awesome. Jonathan, unfortunately, we are out of time, but that was great advice. And friend, I want to encourage you, take Jonathan's advice and go for your dreams. You can follow Jonathan on Twitter at jonathanbernor.com. That's at JONATHANBERNOR on twitter.com. You can also hear Jonathan's unabridged testimony of how God healed him miraculously and set him free, led him out of a life of crime into becoming a youth minister. It's an amazing transformation story. You can check that out at divineinterventionradio.com to hear the full story, divineinterventionradio.com. You can also read his testimony in my book, Divine Intervention 50 True Stories of God's Miracles Today, also found on divineinterventionradio.com. It's an amazing inspirational story that I know will encourage you. This is Success Profiles. I'm your host, Daniel Fazina. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
You've been listening to Success Profiles with Daniel Fazina. Join us next time as we bring you another empowering interview designed to help you achieve greatness here on Success Profiles.
Hi, I'm Kevin McCullough. You may know me from Fox News or Talk Radio. Have you ever wondered or pondered the idea of working for yourself or owning your own business? Using your skills to build a vision or a passion for your own life? Think about it. No boss, no politics, no compromise, no commute, no employees, no discrimination, and no educational requirements. Just building something positive that impacts people's lives. Well, you can get started owning your own energy company for less than $500. Would you like to know how? It's through a great company called Ambit. You can find out more when you go to freepowernow.com. That's freepowernow.com. Or if you're really interested in getting started, call my good friend Daniel Fazina, an independent energy consultant with Ambit. He's ready to help you get started on a brand new career. 205-55-AMBIT. That's 205-55-AMBIT or freepowernow.com.
Times are tough, not getting easier, but there's an opportunity that could make a significant change in your financial situation. People are paying too much for home utilities, and everybody has them. Help friends and family save money and get paid for it. No obligation. You don't even have to talk to anyone unless you want to. Just listen to a 3-minute recorded message. Call now, 715-GET-CASH. That's 715-GET-CASH. Listen, decide, and you could be on your way to a better tomorrow. 715-438-2274. That's 715-GET-CASH.